So right now in my social media marketing agency for realtors where I run Facebook ads, I have 52, all the dark blue, these are sales calls. So I have 52 sales calls lined up right now in the next week and a half. I'm fully booked until the 13th, and today is Feb 1st. Now, before I tell you exactly what I'm doing to get all these calls, it makes the most sense for me to tell you what I tried before so that you can learn from my mistakes. So when I first started my agency back in 2020, the first thing that I was doing was trying cold email. So what I was doing was this like mass cold email approach. Everybody gets the exact same email template. And I kind of made that work in the beginning. I got my first client from that. But very, very quickly, I ran into a lot of issues. And the first main issue that I ran into when I was doing cold email was I was ending up in people's spam folders. I wasn't warming up the accounts properly, or I guess properly enough, or I was scaling the number of emails I was sending too quickly. So then I was getting sent to spam, and then my emails stopped working. I had to create new emails, and it was this like month over month issue where I was trying to, warm emails for 30, 60, 90 days, try them again, it wasn't working. And I ran through this process for quite a while, trying to just get emails to even be delivered in the first place. And creating brand new emails and warming them up a little bit and sending emails out, that wasn't really working for me in the long run. These emails were dying really quickly. Now, throughout my journey with cold email, I tried a number of different things. I tried these mass emails. I tried hyper personalized emails where I would find people on LinkedIn, comment on something about their profile in the first line, and then say, hey, I can help you do XYZ thing. And then I'd say, hey, let's set up a call. I did that. And then I did kind of this in-between part where I would do some rough personalization that was a little more broad, that could be applicable to more people. And that's kind of actually what I found to work best for me. So what I ended up doing was having a VA go and scrape profiles of realtors online, because that's my niche if you don't know this, realtors. So I had a VA go and scrape and find realtors online for me. And then what they would do is use the email template in some of these cookie cutter personalized lines that I created in order to send these to a number of realtors that I was actually confident I could help based on the criteria of theirs that I found online. And then they would send out all these emails for me. At first it was, 10, 20 a day. Then I scaled it up eventually to, I think it was 100 a day roughly. And just with cold email alone from that, I got up to about 25K a month. But then something bad happened where I was relying on one email account. One thing I learned was that if you use a personal email account of yours that you've been using for years, it already has a really strong sender reputation. So then you can end up in the inbox and everything much easier. But then what happened was eventually that email died and stopped working, and I was flat screwed. I had no other business coming in, nothing. Like that cold email was my only method. So all of a sudden I had 0 leads coming in. Now luckily there was something else I had running at the same time, but it was, I was hardly running anything with it at all. And what that was cold LinkedIn messages. So I would use this bot. I used a tool called Linked Helper 2. You can look it up, no affiliate link or anything like that. It's okay. It helps you, scour LinkedIn, find profiles, you upload lists to it. I'd go places, find lists, upload the lists to Linked Helper. I'd create these, automated sequences of messages, 4 messages I think I was sending, and getting responses there. That was getting me about 10 leads a month. It was nothing too serious. My return on investment ended up being pretty solid with that after working on it for a while. And then actually with time, what happened, that one stopped working too for me as well. In 2021, I think I made like, $25,000 from it. But in 2022, I only made like 1 sale from it. So I ended up shutting it off for 2023 because since the volume was so low, it wasn't really worth my time. And I have something else that's working really well now, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. So cold LinkedIn DMs do work. I'm just not doing them anymore. And part of the reason for that is you have limits that you can send per account, and all these platforms are getting really, really tight on how many messages you can send per day per account. So then you need to start creating extra accounts and verifying them and this and that. And it gets a little bit complicated, a little bit annoying, and you're dancing around these rules and everything like that. The TOS, it's pretty easy to get into trouble, and one TOS change and then you're screwed, right? A bunch of people got accounts banned on LinkedIn before, and that was there's an issue there. Also, the price point of the Linked Helper 2 software went up quite a bit during that time frame, so that was another reason I stopped using it. But at the end of the day, I wasn't giving it enough attention, and it wasn't giving me as many leads as I wanted, so I was like, not worth my time. I have other things that are more worth my time. Speaking of platforms that give you trouble with the amount of friend requests you can send or connection requests or messages you can send, Facebook's another one of them. I tried Facebook organic outreach where I would find realtors on Facebook from groups. I'd add them as a friend and then go and DM them to book calls. This is a great way to do things. One issue though is that you can only send about 15, 20 of these per day on Facebook. And Facebook oftentimes makes you like verify accounts and this and that. So scaling that out can be a little bit sketchy, a little bit weird. Facebook's getting really, really weird about like ID verification and stuff these days, although less so with a personal profile than they are with a business profile, as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced. But within almost no time, I was only able to add one new friend on Facebook per day. I probably screwed something up, so I'll take the blame for that. But my Facebook account got screwed, so I didn't really bother with Facebook anymore after that. Now, one other thing that I tried was YouTube Organic. And you can go and look at my old videos. You'll see I have tons of videos for realtors. They're not very good, but they provide good information, and that actually did get me some clients. I think I made some like $20,000 roughly in 2022 from that alone. And I was getting only about 2 sales call bookings a month. I was posting once a week. So that was working for me and I enjoyed it, so I just kept on doing it. And then what happened actually, since I started posting the SMMA content recently, my whole channel started blowing up. So this past month alone in January 2023 from YouTube Organic, I had, I think it was 29 sales call bookings. Whereas in 2022, I had like 20 in the whole year. So 29 in 1 month just from that for realtors specifically. Then came the point in time where I had been doing, about 20K a month on average, and I wanted to step into paid ads. So I started with Facebook ads, and those are going well for me. I was roughly doubling my money, but that was not the return on investment I was looking for. I was doing fine. I was committed to making it work, but I ended up just stumbling across a coach just kind of by chance, to be honest with you. A lot of people ask how I got a coach. For me, it was by luck. But I had a conversation with him and I wanted to start working with him one-to-one. I pay him just shy of 5K a month to work one-on-one with him 4 calls a month. And he was saying, you got to do YouTube ads if you're going to work with me. I said, sure, no problem. I trust you. You're doing way better in business than I am. So I listened to him. I did YouTube ads. Long story short, YouTube ads started exploding. Now I'm getting sales call bookings for like $50 each. And that's how I am getting all these calls. And that's how I have 52 calls booked up right now.